For the third time in their history, the European champions carry the name Denmark. And with that being said, let's recap the day, let's recap the final. Denmark beats Germany 34-27 in an intense final, but to crown themselves as the deserved winner, Andrea.
Yep, completely deserved. They showed the most throughout the championship. They had the highest pressure on their back. Everyone saw them as the favorites. They did it. It's easily said, but it's not easy to do it. They did in a really magnificent way. They had some struggles throughout the championship, injuries, some lost match which we didn't expect, but throughout everything they are an insane squad of players and stuff. So really huge congratulations to Denmark.
What you first said is absolutely true. The odds have always been in their favor. The odds have always been on Denmark. Denmark went into every game as the favorites, but it was never easy for them.
No, it was never easy, and especially in the preliminary round when they lost against Portugal. They had this first game against France where the tension could be cut by a knife, you know. It was a very, very difficult moment for them, but they went through like true champions. And I think that, as we already mentioned, you know, all the problems they have had with injuries during the whole tournament, and the way they did it, it's again heads off for them.
Yeah, and it feels like the destiny was going hard on Denmark. So for today, with the loss of Simon Hell in defense, everybody was like, oh wow, can that be the factor why Germany might take it home today? But Andrea, who stepped up in defense?
I mean, as we saw, maybe, I mean, we know for Saugstrup, but Hoxer did a really great job. So as Victor said, this is a masterclass of defense versatility, what they showed today. They were prepared like they were training this position of the guys in defense, and that's completely insane because, as we all know, you need to train it. Definitely the guys are ready to fulfill the roles, whatever is given for them, and I think this makes the squad. If you remember, Lasse Arvidsson said yesterday, when you come to the Denmark national team, what he said, you put your ego aside.
Do you do that?
I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. There is a lot of egos there, but I think they are well managed, you know, because there is a lot of superstars. I think everybody knows exactly what role they have, and I think this makes easier as a player to accept what's your role and to perform as good as possible.
And Nikolaj Jakobsen was doing a great job in managing not just the playing times, but keeping the players happy and to be able to throw in an X factor whenever there was a needed one. And the X factor today, we don't have to search that long to find him. He carries the name Kevin Möller. It was an insane game that he had. But yeah, once again, what has to go on in your mind to actually put Kevin Möller in goal after 30% saves of Emil Nielsen?
He knows his team. He knows his team, how they breathe. I mean, they are the most successful team in the earliest history, let's say, in these previous years. He knows how they breathe. I do believe that he knows every expression of them. He knows if someone is ready or not. And he's obviously not satisfied with the average. And average for someone is amazing, but for him is not. So definitely he wants more and more from them. As you could see, that's why he put him in.
And well, it's never easy, that is true. It is not easy to take final defeats, and that's why we want to hear one of the main guys for Germany today, Andreas Wolf.
A defeat against Denmark in the final. However, silver medal to be proud of. How do you feel at the moment?
Of course, at the moment I'm disappointed, yet we have to be clear that the silver medal is considered, or has to be considered, as a success. We have planned to come to the finals. We wanted to win this time against Denmark, but they are one of the best teams in history, maybe the best team in history. So we knew it was difficult, and it was not a perfect day for us. So I think we made a good game, we fought back, but in the end the better team won.
It was a very good game for you. Your team said ahead of the match that if you manage to keep up with Denmark until 50th minute, then everything is open then. But what happened in these last 10 minutes?
Yeah, we were close to reach our goal to keep up until the 50th minute. But then we didn't get a rebound. We lost the ball in attack, and then suddenly, instead of going to -2 at 10 minutes to play, we are at -4, and that was too much. And in the end, we get another like 2-minute suspensions, and then Denmark plays it dominantly to the end.
Yeah, right now analysis will always be interrupted a little bit by the interviews because we want to get the emotions as fresh as they are, and especially for Andy Wolf, I was interested in seeing how he will see the game afterwards, because in minute 42 I feel like he was so fed up after having the 7th, 8th, 9th save in the second half that just wasn't recovered, and one was more impressive than the next one.
Yes, at some point it was one moment of the game where Andy Wolf was the one who was keeping Germany on the game, and we could see him a couple of times quite mad with his teammates for not getting a rebound. But you know, sometimes it's like that, and when everything is on the odds and everything goes to one side, all the rebounds and everything goes to the other side, you know. But again, heads off for Andy Wolf. Because he has done an amazing championship, and he has been a very key player for them to stay here, and I think that he still has a lot of handball for a long time.
We hope so. He is an amazing goalkeeper, one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world still right now, as he has proven throughout the tournament. That's why he got into the All-Star team. He is an amazing player, a true leader for the team, even though it wasn't enough today. But it can't just be broken down to the goalkeeper, especially because we've been always talking about the Danish defense and their problems that they had. But then let's look over to Germany with the defensive issues they had to face towards today. So Tom Kiesler coming back into the squad, and then a red card in the 12th minute that impacted the German defensive side as well on a massive note.
I mean, that's for sure. We could see a lot of spaces in the defense of Germany. I mean, you could see Simon Pitlick went through like many times through the middle, and that's forbidden somehow in a defensive tactic. I mean, they always say keep the middle strong. So when you're getting the goals over the middle, that means that really something is off. So that was a huge problem. Indeed, the second half time, I didn't have the feeling that they were going through like they went through in the first half time in that way in one period of time, but they were scoring from the other side. I want to say, I mean, Denmark and attack goes perfectly together, I would say.
And as we're talking about red cards in the middle block, then we want to have a look at the second red card as well for the guys with video. You can see it on screen now. Victor, how did you see that scene?
For me, what Yannick Kohlbacher wants to do is just to get Mats Hoxer out of his body. He doesn't want him close to him, you know, and he's tried to position himself with the elbow. And I feel it's not a dangerous action, and I feel it's not a wanted action, this impact on the neck. Of course, it's a dangerous one, but the way I would like these actions to be treated, for me, I would really like that this action could be just 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't feel like it was intentional to hurt the opponent there either. But yeah, one more bad message for Germany there. But what you just said, Germany wasn't able to close down the middle, even though the wings weren't a major factor in this matchup. So why was it so hard still to close down the middle?
I mean, after that, when I said they couldn't close up the middle, it meant that they could not go through. Like Simon went literally through the 6 meters. We scored 3 times under the legs of Andy. Getting that close to the goalkeeper, that means that, I mean, you went through the middle, you're really like into it. Because I simply told you, what was my feeling also is that attack of Germany was not efficient enough. So Denmark had a lot of opportunities to score also. So in my point, if Germany was more efficient in the attack and finding a better solution, Denmark would struggle more. But like this, Germany didn't give them a hard task in attack in one period of time, so it was much easier to get goals.
And that long period of time that you're talking about was after the beginning of the second half, where we could see Andy Wolf getting more and more furious because he was doing everything he could. And like you said, if he hadn't been as amazing, Denmark would have pulled away with 7, 8 goals or something in that direction. To see Germany struggling that much in the backcourt, Victor, could they have switched differently? So they tried new personnel in the backcourt then. Was it the right choice by Alfred Gislason?
He tried. At some point he took off Juri Knorr and Julian Costa. and Niels Lichtlein and Gergic were coming in. He tried, it didn't work. Then Yuri was again in, but again, I want to remark how amazing was the defense of Denmark. It was something I'm sure Germany was not expecting. And you know, Alfred Gislason was trying what he thought was best. He tried some different players, and at the end of the day, it didn't work.
Because Denmark found the solutions again against the German options. But Andrea, what's your read? Did Germany always take the right decisions trying to overcome the defense?
No, I don't think they used the right side of the court. The left and right side close to the outlines were not used enough, and I would say that was the intention of the Denmark defense, to close the middle and to put them in the middle. And that's unfortunately, there was a lot of... There were two interesting situations. Johannes Golla got 2 balls in the beginning of second half time, and afterwards they tried to find him again, but it was very, very high passes. I think he was more ready to get the floor passes much better than he got today. And in that point of view, I also think that they were shooting very fast in some situations. I think Yuri, like in 2 or 3, but doesn't matter. I mean, it was hard to find the solution. In one moment we had Uschins and Lichtlein. That's not so often in the terms of left-handers to see in Germany. So that was also interesting. But from other point of view, we had Arnoldsen, who jumped in a perfect way for Denmark today. And in the moment when also Pitlik was not that efficient, he didn't even shoot for the beginning of the second half time, Arnoldsen did his job. So they found a solution for everything. This looked like this.
That is true, and that made the life of Alfred Gislason a lot harder there. He did have a big task there. As you just said, it was a difficult one, and Alfred Gislason is at the microphone of Simona.
The final against Denmark, you said ahead of the match that you need to have a perfect match, that you need to be clinical in the attack. But all the way until 50th minute, you were very close. What happened in the last 10 minutes of the game?
Yeah, we had, of course, before this game, we lost Fischer. He's sick, so he couldn't play. It would be very important for us to have him in attack and defense. And then 2 red cards also. The first against Kiesler, who is a very important player for us, did cost us a lot. But in the end, I think we were very close in this game, and 1 or 2 errors too many in the last minutes. Yeah, well, we were 2 or 3 goals down, and then it was really quick what the Danish could get ahead.
Are you still, one way or another, proud of the big achievement that you did today and on the silver medal on your team?
I'm very proud of my team for this, for the silver, for how they played this month. It was a fantastic tournament for them. They learned a lot. I think they get various steps ahead in their evolution, and we are really happy to make the silver, but I'm extremely happy with how they played.
Thank you. And if you could summarize in German your view of the game.
Ja, ich denke, die Jungs haben ein sehr, sehr gutes Turnier gespielt.
Because, well, right before the start, pressure from the inside of the DHB up onto his position, saying, well, just reaching the main round isn't enough for Germany. We want more, especially looking ahead for the World Championship 2027. And then the story with his buzzer, where he buzzed 1 second too early, leading to a loss against Serbia. Of course, you don't lose matches within one scene. But yeah, looking into his future, we will come back to that because we have the MVP of the final at the microphone, Kevin Müller.
Danish.
Okay.
Kevin Müller, congratulations on winning the gold. Long awaited since 2012. How heavy and how happy is this medal around your neck?
I'm just really happy. It ain't that heavy now. Now it's just pure joy. Receiving it here in front of our home crowd is amazing.
A really tough match against Germany, but in the last 10 minutes you took even a 6-goal advantage and then danced into the last moments of the game. How stressful was this final?
Really stressful. It was one of the toughest fought games in my career, because when we went into the game, it was just a lot of question marks about how we will be defending, and today actually the defense was the best part of our game today. I just have to say a fantastic game from Saustrup and Hoxer in the middle, and Arnoldsen. What they delivered in the defense was amazing.
Thank you. And
Yeah, Kevin Möller, the MVP of the game, always just thinking about the team. The toughest match, one of the toughest matches in his career, and after becoming MVP, still only having words for his teammates. That just shows how big of a sportsman he is, right?
You want to make me cry, right? Just looking at him, I want to go down there and make a hug for him, you know, because he always has a good words, a good face for his teammates, and it's not always easy to accept your role. And his role, almost in every team he has been playing, it has been as number 2, and the way he is accepting his role, the way he is preparing himself, the way he is doing everything, it's just amazing. And for me, it's a huge joy that him had this MVP today, that he was a very key factor of the day with his saves, and I'm super happy for him.
I mean, it's one of the reasons, maybe because he was a number 2 for so long in his career, that he has even more the eye for his teammates.
I think he carries this in his heart. This you cannot learn. You can gain with experience how important it is to contribute to the team. But looking at his eyes, I think it speaks much more than 1,000 words. He looks like a very warm person, and the story what Victor told me yesterday made me cry. So I think those are the players that every team needs.
And I can assure you, if we go down to the locker room of Denmark and we ask one by one, what do you think about Kevin Möller? Everybody's going to love the man.
Most likely, because even in the moment where he does get the spotlight after a final, the first thing he thinks about is, man, I need Magnus Augstrup. Give me Magnus Augstrup, you're coming along. Well, it just shows his character and how much he was seeing was what Magnus Augstrup is doing, and that has been impressing you throughout the game as well.
I don't know what to say. I mean, for me, everything is impressive, honestly. I said this is one of the most beautiful Euros that I watched. I mean, especially in live, I had this opportunity, but overall, so everything impressed me, honestly. I was just thinking of watching these beautiful pictures with the kids and athletes, and then it's all joy and blessing there on the court.
But let's go to Magnus Augstrup and his game once again, because he was leading the defense, and in offense he was asking for the balls, but didn't get him, Andrea.
No, I think. But what you heard from this one, that Jakobsen even said that they need to give him the ball. So, no, I mean that's interesting. How you should maybe try to defend Denmark. In one moment, Saustrup is moving a lot, as we know, so he opens the space for a defender. Maybe it would be good not to pay attention that much of Saustrup. Only when he's blocking you, then you need to try to avoid. But he's really good in that. His timing is perfect. I mean, I think me and you, if we take the shoes now, go on the court and ask him for just a block, we would go through. So, I mean, there is a lot of time to think when he takes the action for a black player, and that's today, like gaining 1 second only in the moment to think more. It's a blessing, I think.
How difficult was the game for Saugstrup? Because all the injuries led to a lot of responsibility on his shoulders.
Well, not only the game, the whole championship. Actually, he is a player used to play a lot of time. In Aalborg, he used to play a lot of time. In Magdeburg, he's playing a lot of time.
I need to interrupt you here for a second, because
yes.
Nikolaj Jakobsen is actually on our interview. Oh, no, he lets us wait for a second. Yeah, fair enough. Then you can go on, sorry.
He's used to play a lot of time, and I think that this championship has shown us how a beast he is, and how his team, after what Kevin Möller did, how his team is giving the credit that he deserves, you know, because he's working for everybody but himself. And this is just amazing.
Yeah, and a guy that has been working a lot throughout the tournament is Nikolaj Jakobsen too. So today had all the right calls. Was there one mistake made by Nikolaj Jakobsen?
I cannot even dare to search for a mistake.
I would really like to ask him, you know, in what moment did he decide to make this difference today? And if he had think about it before having the injury of Simon Hald or right after. because for me it was a master class.
Yeah, especially because everybody always talks about Denmark with their second, third, and fourth team. They would probably play a semifinal just among themselves. But today you could really feel even Denmark needed to improvise there.
That's what I said. Usually you should practice this kind of things. I mean, it looked like, okay, Held is not playing okay. Hoxer, can you do that? Yeah, I can. I mean, it looks that simple, but it looked like that also. Going back to Saugstrup just a bit, I mean, the energy, what he delivers, also calling the crowd to help the team, it's also outstanding. So he's an extreme big motivator for the team. But for defense, I'm speechless. I mean, we didn't see this kind of performance on defense like on this championship in the way of versatility and what can players really do if they know each other well. But to develop a system that everyone can fit in and jump in these most important matches of their careers. And this way, this is not a coincidence that it happens. This means that they're the team who really functions perfectly. And they really take care. I mean, they're listening carefully. What are the roles in defense, definitely.
And now they achieved something big. Chris called it the Grand Slam of Handball. So now completed the European Championship, the World Championship, and the Olympics. And they did it all within 1.5 years.
It's something you cannot put on words, actually, you know. I think Andy was one of the best teams in history, if not the best. Only time will tell, but what they just did is, of course, to be considered in the top 3.
Andrea, your opinion on that?
I can agree only, but year and a half, we are talking about the achievements, what you can dream of. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And on player side, then we can talk about Saugstrup, Landin, and Nielsen too, who those 3 big trophies even have the Champions League title. And Victor, that puts them among the top players that this sport has ever seen.
Yes, they will. All of this, it will put them in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Why are they playing still?
It's just you know, I'm repetitive, but it's amazing. And players like, for example, Landin, that maybe we haven't seen him that much in this championship, but he's there, he's doing his job, and he's doing it great. He works for the team. He goes out there, he plays in defense number 5, then he is scoring.
Like Kirkeloke, the same.
Yes,
number 2 and number 5.
Yes, and yeah, it's just amazing. And also Mats Mensa, how many trophies does this guy have?
He doesn't know. If he would ask,
and it's a player because of he's in this group of players that normally we don't talk about. But Mats Mensa is always there to do what you need him to do, with no complainings, you know. And this is amazing for the part of the players, but also for the management, for Nikolai. The way he's managing egos and personalities. Amazing.
It's because of the table tennis. We got a finally answer.
Yeah, probably because he was able to lift the spirit in the team once again. And one really has to say the biggest achievement of Mats Mensa is the one that he won't ever get an award for, and that's his personality. To get thrown into that team and accept his role, that you are a rotation player at best, so that you know when you start that tournament, well, I probably won't hit the 1 hour mark if I get thrown into that tournament. But he doesn't just accept that role, he takes it and fills it out. And that is a unique skill just by himself.
And he's there year after year.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's these big names like Matthias Gitzel, Simon Pidlik, Emil Nielsen, Saugstrup. But I'm sure that after these names, the first name that Nikolai is writing on the paper when he's, you know, thinking about which players are coming, is Mats Mensa.
And Lauge.
And yes.
I also think.
But,
Rasmus
you know,
is also there.
he's always there consistently.
Yeah, and then we did have one topic that I wanted to finish on, but that was on the other side. That was on Germany's side with Alfred Gislason. So I'm repeating my point from earlier. We had pressure from the DHB, from inside of the DHB, being put on him. Then that buzzer topic that followed him along. He was one of the most talked about coaches in the tournament, and despite all the talks, he delivered. He kept the pressure away from the team, and he has proven Germany that he's the right guy for the World Cup 2027? Question mark.
Yes, in my opinion, yes. What I like at this championship from him is that he was rotating more the players. And I think that Germany was able physically today to put a fight with Denmark, because physically his starting seven was quite well, and also the players who had been inside the rotation, they had the confidence to say, okay, I'm also here to do something, you know. And Schlurov and Gergic and Nils Lichlein, Justus Fischer, who was sick, all these players, they were not starters, but they had a big role in the team. And I liked this a lot from Alfred Gislason.
One massive coach and a lot of achievements, especially seeing his development in Germany throughout the last years. He has been around for quite some time and has been constantly improving. I think there was one little dip, but he just continued. And after the 4th place last time, he achieved the silver now, but gold went to this coach.
Head coach of Denmark, congratulations on winning the gold medal. How did you master this final against Germany?
Oh, it was a really tough final. I think we started even, and then we got some success with our 3-3 defense. Second half, got a good start, and our offensive defense was really good. Then we missed a lot on Andy Wolf. He has 5 big saves that win the match a little bit more exciting. But in the end, I think we played really well again and deserved this win.
Are you getting another star on your arm?
Stars is for World Championships, so European Championships is round. So now I have to see what I'm gonna do, but I'm certainly gonna do something.
Thank you, and if you could...
Great. Those are the memories for a lifetime that they are collecting. Just closing down that topic on Germany and Alfred Gislason. Is there anything they could have done differently, or was was it just Denmark's day and Denmark's time?
They will have time to analyze everything. There is a big competition in front of them. I think they gain a lot of experience, especially the young players carrying the pressure of this championship. So I think this is what they gain the most, honestly. And as Victor said, a lot of rotations in the backcourt line. I don't know, you can always do better, in my opinion, but today I think Denmark was a really big favorite in this match. So just also hats off to them. I mean, they did a great championship.
Mm-hmm.
No, who am I to say if if he could have done something different because of his career?
Well, maybe not just him, but Germany on the court too.
Maybe today they could have tried to play with 7 players, because Denmark was so high up, and they were putting a lot of problems to the players, the attack players and the backcourt players. What Denmark would have done if they take 7 players, if Justus Fischer would have been there, you know, but also he could try with Gola and Kohlbacher. But I think that this is maybe something that they could have tried to see what happened after 8, 9, 10 minutes of the second half.
And I mean, this seems to be an ongoing topic with Germany in general, offensively and defensively. So being in 6-0 almost every time, you barely ever see, no, you don't ever see Germany doing something different. What's your read on that? Just when you know that you're good at that, stay at it, or if it doesn't work, you need to try something new?
I mean, if I would be the coach, that, let's say from that perspective, I would love to have 2 types or 3 types of defenses. I like to have versatility, and I think with playing against different teams, you can offer them different hard tasks to go through. So for me, it's nice to see when the coaches are like having a different defenses. I like this with Spain. I saw a lot of interesting things in this championship. Probably this is going to be maybe an idea to think about for them, and definitely for the attack, this is what Victor said. I mean, you always need to get better. So you need to try to get better, and for sure, like getting better, that means that you also need to improve and to change some things in order to get the golden medal that you want. So you cannot stay at the same, because that means that you don't develop. So I mean, getting better in different, let's say, defensive approaches would be nice, or also attacking skills we could see today. That's also something that Germany did nice this championship. We could see a nice gameplays, tactics, and these kind of things. But we didn't see much of this, what Victor said.
And I mean, those are good news in some way, because with the way that they played it, they achieved the 2nd place in one of the hardest tournaments that there ever was for Germany. Well, there's still room for improvement, and there are topics to work on.
This German team is going to win many goals in the next 10, 12 years.
I take you by your tongue with that. And with that being said, let's wrap up this Euro, and we are going to do that downstairs. And the good thing is, the good news is, our fellow friends Simona, Martin, and Chris are downstairs already. Well, can you count it? How much confetti is flying around there? How much? How long will it take to clean all that up?
Yeah, Bengt, it seems that it will take some time, and Martin here is having a lot of fun. So, guys, we have come to the end of the EHF Euro. How did you see this game and the entire tournament?
I mean, today, in the end, it was only fitting that Denmark would take control and win it. It was a fantastic game, and that first half, I think, one of the best first halves we've had in a European Championship final. We were talking a little bit before the game. You know, both of these teams in their history have been involved in games where it's become very one-sided in the final. Think about the Olympic final and the time that Denmark lost here in the final. So it can happen that one of the teams simply doesn't show up, but thankfully both did. And I think that is also representative for the whole championship, where from place 1 to place 24, there was a real showing from the vast majority of teams. They all had big performances. And I think great for Denmark to come out on top here at home. Only the second home nation to win a European Championship as well, which is quite remarkable.
And they are the only nation now, next to France, that is currently holding all titles, so World, Olympic and Euro. Do you see? Yes, exactly. Do you see any other team doing this anytime soon?
I think Denmark are going to, at least for the next, for the next generation, they will always have their foot in the door and collecting a title here and there. If they keep winning every single one, I'm not so sure, because as we've seen, the level of all the other teams is growing. So teams are catching up slowly to Denmark, but they found the solutions today and in this championship. I think this will be, and I also hope this will be the last time it happens for quite a while.
Martin, did you lose your voice up there on the tribune with Chris, or how was it for you? Stressful, nervous, excited?
Excited and nervous. I was trying to be neutral for once here, but in the end I couldn't hold it back here, because I believe that they had a lot of pressure on their shoulders throughout the tournament, and with the loss against Portugal they increased even more, and for them in the end to take it home, and as you and Chris just spoke about, to have the treble, it means a lot for them, and at home ground with the home spectators. So what a performance. I got emotional a little bit, not crying here, getting goosebumps, so I'm happy for them and for the nation.
Amazing. And the support from the stands was more than brilliant, right?
I mean, I loved it. That red wall, could you imagine being a player and just like giving it some to that red wall? Oh, it was great. I think fantastic. I've been here for some big Denmark glories to see it happen here, also disappointments, but yeah, this country really loves this handball team, and it's fun to see both sides give it back to each other. So yeah, special crowd.
And I mean, talking about that red wall, talking about the atmosphere, can you imagine how that must feel in the 50th minute when Kevin Möller has his 13th save of the game and the whole arena, 15,000 screaming, Kevin, Kevin.
No, I am afraid I've only had, what was the highest crowd? Probably like 6,000 angry Georgians scream at me, but never 15,000 happy Danes.
What for?
For, playing handball daring to play handball against them. That's
yeah.
Beautiful. That'd be a beautiful scene. It's a strange place to have a handball arena like this, but it, is a real mecca for Danish handball, and I think something that everyone should experience at some point.
Amazing atmosphere, and it was an amazing tournament, Victor. Just to sum it up in one sentence. All right, well, you can have 2 or 3. Just give us a little recap. How did you see this entire EHF Euro 2026?
I think it was a success. I think it was a big championship. In my opinion, the best Euro in the last, 10, 12, 14 years. I think that we witnessed a great show, a great handball, big fights, but also a lot of respect between players, between teams. And I think it was a great success also in the stands, in the crowds. And at the end of the day, the best team won.
No argument about that. That is true. And, we can conclude it with saying everybody can beat everyone isn't a phrase any longer, isn't it, Andrea?
No, it's not a phrase. I mean, we have witnessed really amazing results. I think teams are getting closer and closer to each other. They are playing like really extremely quality handball. So as Victor said, I really enjoyed. It was one of the best championship, if not the best, in I don't know how many years. So I really wish us championships like this. So let's enjoy this moment.
Thank you, crew. Amazing tournament. All of you guys, all of us did a great job. We have been powering through to give you guys the best experience for the EHF Euro 2026. But be sure we will be back, and it won't take long. Club competitions will be back shortly. Follow them along on EHF TV, and you will hear from us again when it's time to talk handball again, everybody.